That is me this morning, trading Ethereum. Does anybody know, that was a favorite show of mine. That is the first time I learned about stock. I was probably 8. I wore a patch. I had a lazy eye. It was Brady Bunch and the Addams Family. So it sounds like no one knows either of those shows. So this really, and I was eating avocado toast. How's that? So I am Howard. I am really grateful to not be the host. These are hard events. And Ian and Taylor and the team have brought it back to its roots, which is fun for me because I like to meet everybody, and it got too big, and I wasn't having fun at my own events. So I appreciate them keeping it going. Yes, a bull market is like sex. It feels best before it ends. And if it was going to end, that cover is a dangerous cover. And that's Barton Biggs. He's a famous guy. He can talk dirty. He's very wealthy. We have entered this era that and I only had the FOMO part until Larry David's season 10, where his first episode he talked about foisting. Has anybody heard the term foisting? Yes, we have now. It was something that I didn't know I was foisting for all these years. When you take someone and you foist them, or when there's a fly around you and you touch the person next to you and supposedly the fly is foisted onto the next person. So we are in this era of FOMO and foist, where there's this feeling that I'm missing out. You know, we've had this bull market for 10 years, Facebook, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or we're being foisted by the digital gods and the machines. And we just don't know. And everybody wants the answers. You know, it really comes down to risk management and your own risk profile. But we're going to talk a lot about cryptocurrencies, it seems like today. And we're talking about an industry that was 16 billion. It was one Snapchat at the beginning of 2017. And now it is 10 Snapchats. I don't know what Snapchat is, but it's today $160 billion in total. And I think it's interesting that Ian brought up that, and so this is where StockTwits is ahead of the curve, and having this network and peloton that we're all building and contributing to works. StockTwits, I would probably say it's going to be 10% of our, even if it crashes, will be 8 to 10% of the mind share of StockTwits. There is an arb here. If Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are 160 billion, which is just 10 Snapchats, and the StockTwits conversation and Reddit and conversation around the web is 8 to 10%, there is an arb there. This is a tidal wave coming over the world. And it's not just crypto, it's this digital asset experience. So that is the biggest trend that I can see. Even if you bought today and are wrong, I think you're going to make money over the next 10 or 20 years. So don't get caught up, but also don't chase. I now, full-time, my partners are here, Tom and Gary. You can talk to them. I, with my partners, run a fund called Social Leverage. There we are. That's a professionally produced photograph. That is the best we've ever looked. I mean, wow. Don't read anything. It's not important. We are lovely people. Tom and Gary are where? Tom and I are Canadians. Gary, we don't know. He seems Russian, but he is legal. Lives in Del Mar. Tom lives in Phoenix. I live everywhere. And we are out around raising our third fund. And we invest under the concept of social leverage, which is, again, why we're all here, which is the idea that you don't need billions of dollars. You need a strong network. And social leverage invests in financial services and enterprise companies and really overall great entrepreneurs. We've invested in over 100 companies. I luckily now get to do that full time. And we rely on our friends and family and people that we trust to bring us deals. That is how social leverage works. Me especially, just am in love with the fintech industry. I don't know what to call it, if it's financial services, if it's fintech, or if it's just stocks and markets. But we have a strong history of believing and investing where we believe. It started with my show Wall Strip. Obviously, I was trading back here and listening to the Addams Family, but over here in 2005, I started a show called Wall Strip. The idea was I was so sick and tired of talking to the television, explaining to the CNBC people that they were wrong. So I started my own show on YouTube and had no cats. That was our strategy, is just not to be cat videos on YouTube. And we sold it to CBS. I invested in LifeLock. Mike Dean's here also, who helped do the Symantec deal at LifeLock. So we've been investing in financial services, social leverage, and myself for 10 years. It took Goldman Sachs till last year to announce the second wave of fintech, which is why we pay them 2% to manage our money. We're super bullish. We are super bullish on the idea that people want to invest their own money. They want to hunt, gather, blow their brains out, get rich quick, and then learn how to invest. Hopefully, our generation's job is to teach them and mentor them quicker so they make the mistakes quicker and maybe not even make those mistakes. We also invest in enterprise software companies, and I think there's an interesting moment here, and Fidelity's here and a great sponsor of StockTwits. We are seeing this era where you have the incumbents who have call centers and really understand customer support because that is their job. They are in e-commerce companies. They're handling millions and millions of customers, and the most important thing they have, their money. And you have this new wave of Coinbase, StockTwits, Robinhood, Acorns, all these Betterment that have tens of thousands of customers but are never going to be able to build out the infrastructure. So you have this real big melding of financial services and enterprise that we are focused on as well. We are also at the age of the individual investor. There is no doubt, I think Bloomberg had a really bad article out the other day calling BlackRock the Amazon of finance, which is, as we all know, is just terrible. We hate BlackRock. We love them in the sense that it's a behemoth of a company and the stock goes up, but they are not Amazon. And we live in this age of the individual investor. All of us here invest, trade, talk about markets and stocks, trying digital currencies. We are tinkering. We are playing with these new tools. We want what we want. And while BlackRock and Vanguard are winning trillions of dollars of assets, there is the rest. There is the long tail of investors, and we are them. We're here because, I believe in, I cycle. I talk about this all the time, building your own Peloton, which is, it's very hard to do this by yourself. It's fun to have this knowledge and to have these tools and to be able to make money and save and invest. But it's through groups, some as large as, StockTwits 150,000 people, 200,000 people, 300,000 people, and some in small groups of 2 or 3. And so the idea is use these networks to get smarter, and even if it's to make less mistakes, that's great. And then finally, I want to just talk about things I like. I'm an open book here. I write on my blog every day. We're not hiding anything. The reason we love StockTwits is I share stuff as it happens, right and wrong, but it's there. And it's there not so much because I want to brag. It's there to help me be accountable for my ideas. I think the number one thing that I like about StockTwits and writing is it's for me. I don't care how many people read it. I have a record of what I said, and it helps me think. There is no bigger trend than e-commerce. We hear it 100 times a day. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's everything. Fidelity is an e-commerce company. StockTwits is an e-commerce company. We use tools to do that, but we are in e-commerce. My favorite ideas have been Shopify and Amazon, but there's tons. Even Stefan has gotten a couple things right. Stefan? Big hand. It is a bull market. So even Stefan, this is the FOMO part. Stefan is the poster child of Foist. No, I'm kidding. There is financial services, which is why we're all here. There is a revolution, and no one knows how it's going to play out. And I am seeing companies that get us so excited at social leverage and at StockTwits. StockTwits is this place where people come and show us stuff. So we get to see it first, and I'm very bullish. I'm super bullish, and it's hard to explain quickly here, but you can ask me, and I write about it on my blog, about the melding of private markets and public markets, the intelligence that is at both ends of the spectrum, from your overvalued Amazon to your $2 million startup in the cloud, and the liquidity in between. So we are moving this direction to one market. And that market is either the internet or the blockchain or Bitcoin. Payments, I've long talked about Tencent, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Bitcoin. I think people get too caught up in words, but I like the word digital assets. You know, Alley Insider, Business Insider is a digital asset. StockTwits is a digital asset, and Bitcoin is a digital asset. So it's not just crypto. You know, here's where when I hear this stupid stuff about machines and machine learning and blah, 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 yes, the machines that I understand are the ones talking to each other to do microtransactions to help your trade go through or to get your paperwork. So I'm very bullish on these things. And obviously new forms, as chairman still at StockTwits, new forms of social and connection. I believe vertical, I've been wrong or early. There is no wrong, there's just early and underfunded. But vertical is the new horizontal. There's nothing wrong with deep. You know, drillers have done well going to the center of the earth. And then unique content. We are funding a few companies focused around unique content. I live on Netflix, and when I run out of stuff on Netflix, I sign up for Hulu for an hour. And then when I run out of that, well, I'm asleep on Ambien by then. But I'm very bullish on unique content. And I think that could be it. Hang on. Was that it? So ask me questions. Be nice to everybody here. Everybody here has an objective, whether it's to grow their company or learn a strategy, but we've kind of curated down the room. I think they've done a great job again this year at StockTwits. So hope you guys, I'm on time, I think, too. So hope you guys have a great day. I like the one-day format, too, right? This is it today? And we'll do one east. Are we going to do one east? Yeah. We're going to do one east. So we will hit you up via the blockchain about Stocktoberfest East. I don't even know what the blockchain is. So please, if you're asking about the blockchain, you're not going to get a good answer. So stop asking about the blockchain. And have a great time today, everybody.